Welcome back to Goldenridge. Today we're making huge progress. Highly detailed residential, a highway off-ramp, suburban homes and apartments. It's packed with tons of expansion. So let's get to work. Okay, so I had a few things in mind to do today, and I started getting into them and recording before I realized that I had hit the pause button on OBS for recording and was talking to myself for the last 20 minutes. So that's been really fun. So instead of deleting everything and redoing it, I'm just going to kind of walk you through quickly what I had done, which was to fill out this area a bit with some more modern apartment buildings and some commercial stuff and some mixed residential. We got a theater in here and a big shopping center over here. And I was starting to bring in some of the single family lowest density housing to try to start blending that in, as well as remembering that some of the old vanilla North American assets are actually not bad. I'm so kind of wrapped up in the new packs because they're great, that some of those old ones are pretty good. So some of the other stuff that I wanted to do today was fill this in a bit. I also wanted to reroute this train route a little bit because it's feeling a little random. I think I just have some other ideas about where we can take this. I did upgrade this bridge to be a little different, but also I wanted to continue building out some residential stuff here. And then the other thing I wanted to do was, we've got this highway that is an outside connection that's kind of just dead ending here, and eventually I do want to get into the city. I'm not sure exactly how to route it through this area, so as I mentioned before, I like this map because of how much of it is taken up by mountains and lakes and rivers and stuff, so it's not just this big flat thing that I kind of get overwhelmed with, but then we do have this big flat area. So I do need to figure out exactly how to lay this out. I think this will be a lot of farmland and rural stuff, and I think it'll end up being really cool, but I'll have to figure out the layout of it layout for that exactly. But what I do know is that I want this highway to cross the river right here next to the train and come in to kind of land in this area and filter traffic into town in a couple of ways there. And I found this great, where we go here. So these bridges, this highway bridge is so great. This guy is such a cool looking bridge. The problem is the vanilla one is just a 2-lane highway going, 2 lanes in each, 1 lane in each direction. But there is a modded version that has 2 lanes going in each direction. So I think we'll get that up, and that'll be a nice bridge to cross over here. Something else I wanted to mention, someone in the comments last time was asking about the darker looking roads, and I think one of the simplest but best mods that I've come across so far is this road wear adjuster, where you can adjust the brightness so you can see in the background that's kind of the vanilla white area, but you can just turn the brightness all the way down, and I have the opacity dipped a bit, and that just looks way more realistic. Cars leave a darker wear on the road. I'm not sure why they went with white as the road wear indicator, because that's just not kind of what happens in the world. But I just wanted to call that out in case, I don't know how old that mod is. I hadn't played in a bit before I started this series, so that mod was new to me and is awesome, I think. So all right, so yeah, now that we're caught up on everything I was doing while talking to myself and thinking I was recording, we can continue building stuff out. So I was just starting with the single family houses that do feel like they're awfully close to the train tracks. It's not an ideal place to live, but that there are a lot of those. In lots of cities, and especially these little smaller towns, you'll see quite a bit of you know, regular homes just pretty cozied up to you know, the town's train. So I think that totally makes sense. So I'm just trying to get as much zoning as I can actually make sense. I always tend to struggle with, you know, how well it actually does. For this kind of stuff, I think it works pretty well. But there's a lot of other situations where it is not my favorite. And actually, even there, I think we're... And we'll just get some more roads going, I think. We can extend these a bit up this hill here. I don't think that's too steep. Just kind of get a little connection into there. And we'll go with... Oh, those are all highways. So that's... I was wondering why there were no sidewalks. So we can replace those with normal roads. And now we will get some of the alleyways in. We'll just go right with that guy. And we can fill in a lot of this with some of these. And hopefully this will help us a bit with some of the transition. Okay, so I think that's a decent start for this little hillside neighborhood, and I think there's an okay organic transition from this kind of medium density up into the stuff that's a little more mix of row houses and regular stuff. I think these row houses are probably the best thing in terms of what the game allows to go up, hills and up curved roads and stuff like that. So I think that works. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good overall. I think we can fill in. Let's see. Let's just go with a little more zoning here since this is nice, fairly flat and square. I think we'll stick with some row houses here and maybe there, and then some mixed stuff for this corner and a little bit of commercial there and there. And then I wonder what we can put here. Let's take a look. We have schools, but I think there should be like is there a library? Oh, here we go. That is very big and modern. That's a little, that'll fit, I think, if we... I don't know if that's quite gonna fit regardless of how we put it in there, even if we... No, that one's not... I do like this. This is a nice... I can stick that guy over there for now. Oh yeah, let's put a satellite dish right in the middle of town. We could get a... I mean, there's a lot of people who live over here. We have an elementary school up there, but I think we could get another one in. Get these people educated up. Let's see what else we have. Do we have... I don't know that we did medical, actually. So we should probably get a clinic in. That one looks okay. Southwest, what do we have for... There we go. Yeah, that's a nice... Get a hospital in here. Probably a good idea. This, I think, is going to be pretty good for commercial up next to along around our train station and in there. Yeah, see, this is why we don't zone. Because it's very repetitive and it just makes me upset. So let's see. Yeah, we just get one guy in there. And again, it's just not gonna work. Oh, I've seen people talking about, let's see if we can find it now. Here it is. Yeah, this public market is a fantastic building. This is definitely a town with a co-op, and that's, to me at least, what this would be representing. Okay, so we can fill that in. That maybe could be a park. Oh, we do have a medical clinic, and it's the one I already played. It's the exact same one I placed, which is funny. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought we had. So for this, let's see. Let's check out signature buildings here. These signature offices are probably... Oh, that'll work. Yeah. That'll fit. Yeah, we can just go with some more commercial stuff along here. Okay, so that's looking great. I'm going to go through and just fill in some of the stuff with some trees and some minor details, and then we'll take a look at our train tracks over here. Okay, so now that we have this whole area filled in and detailed up, I think it's looking pretty great, especially, you know, from a view over here, we feel like we have much more of a full city going on. And I think we've got a nice mix from, you know, residential and into bigger stuff. I think the transition is working pretty well. So there's still a few spots to fix up, and I try to at least drop in some dirt in some of these empty lots so that it looks a little more like empty lots would look, rather than just everything being kind of perfect grass. But we'll come back to that. For now, I want to move this train track. So I'm going to pause it up here for a second, and we're just going to get rid of all of this right up until our bridge. So what I want to do is let's hop over into trains and find our, let's see, I think we've got the not one way, double train track, non-electrified. That's what we want. Okay. So what I want to do is we maybe go a little more straight here. And let's try to get us kind of take all of our slope out if we can. Around 1.1 is perfect. And then switch over to rounded. And I just want to make a nice smooth turn. Let's see, something like that. And then we'll go back to straight, and I think what we want to do is come down to ground level, because I don't want this to be like a fully elevated thing the whole time. So we're gonna bring that down, and then switch back to a curve, and we might keep going a little straight here, and then we'll get, let's see, get a curve in kind of like that maybe, and then come out to about here and swing it back towards our main line and bring it in. Okay, I think that is already feeling way better than what we had before. I think it'll integrate a lot better into the town and area we have out here eventually. I want to bring some of this earth up because I don't really. Ooh, that was the brush strength is what is like 100 brush strength. Oh my god, why what is the scale of brush strength that they've got going on? Good lord. And then 45 takes all of that to go down. Man, that was aggressive. All right, anyway, so I want to kind of have this essentially going like that, and then we'll grab our slope tool and bring this down. I just want this to feel a little more natural, so you can kind of bring this whole area out a bit, and then we can smooth it down, and we'll switch the track to not be a bridge or not to be raised. So let's go back and do that now. Place. So yeah, that'll do it. Let's go all the way. Yeah. And then now we can bring the ground back up just that little bit more. Because I do see a lot of the time that trains kind of have their own, they are elevated even just that little bit. So something like that is even almost more subtle than you'll see a lot of trains have. Okay, that I think is feeling a ton better. Actually, is this little area below? Oh, little floating trees. Looks like they're below the water level, which is the way water can be in this game. Absolutely terrifying. To terrain height, and oh, it sure is. We're gonna. I think we might raise that. Well, it looks. I mean, it's kind of cool, but I just worry that if any water, for whatever reason, gets in there. So let's see the difference. Yeah, that is quite a bit lower. We're just gonna get in there a little bit. Probably not necessary, to be honest, the more I think about it, but all right, that I think will work. And now I want to get this highway entrance in here. So let's see. Let's start, I think, with 2-lane, one-way truss bridge. So that's great. We'll get our parallel on, and I think this will be a little higher than, not quite that high, not 9. I thought I brought this down here. Let's see how that is looking. And oop, I did not. I forgot we were uncurved. I think that's gonna be a little too low still. This bridge is awesome, but there's a weird level, kind of height. I feel like it kind of has to be to get the truss stuff not clipping. And hopefully that's not going to feel too high for this area. Let's try that. That's a little better. I still don't love. Maybe if we do it more like that, it'll look a little bit better. Maybe even right on the bank there. Yeah, I mean it's a little low given the size of these trusses, but I think it does look pretty great. Like the detail in there is awesome. So I think we'll stick with that. Okay, we can get our regular 2-lane highways. And bring these down a bit now. So that's -3. I think that's probably good. So I think what I want to do, we can play here, I think what I want to do is have these cross over our train tracks and filter out into the streets right around here. So let's see if we can't wait for a train, because that'll give us a much better idea of what kind of clearance we need. And it's not nearly as much as I always think it is. So in the meantime, we can, I guess, get some of these going out here. So 180 and bring those in, and then we can switch these to, I'm all over the place here. We can switch these to non-elevated right around the same place that our train tracks are at, and then kind of do the same thing we did there. And I'm not even gonna probably like we could just kind of connect it jankily like we did with the train tracks, just to get some traffic coming this way, but because I don't know exactly, I want this to be a little more thought out. So let's speed time up here and see if we can't get a train coming. So I'm not sure if those are actually in a great position. Let's see though. They might be okay. But probably not quite the angle we're looking for. Yeah, so okay. So I think we said those were at 27 feet. So I think we are at 23. So let's just go back and make sure we're at the right height here. Keep clicking on just that for, I don't know why. Okay. So 23, we want to be at 27. So actually we've come down here and I think we shouldn't have. So let's get those back up. And now we're at 27, and that's about the height of our bridge. So come into about here and start a curve and then make a much more intentional turn and come right over our train tracks. Just like, let's see, I think we want that pretty straight. And I think our clearance is, yeah, I mean, that's more than good. We could even lower these tracks a little bit, but that's funny. I don't want these roads being up here too high. So now we'll turn off parallel and figure out how we want to do this. I think I'm even going to split these up into single lanes. So I can turn this down to 0 and we've got continuous slope on. So if we're coming off here, I think we'll probably get one. Look at the right side one going just right into this intersection. And that has now become a crazy intersection, but that's cool. And then our second one, I wonder if we take that a little farther, bring it up. We can start it coming down to about here. And then cross and have it come down and join into, that would kind of be the one, but that's a bit of a crazy turn there. So I think we'll stick with this one. Even though those are fairly similar, I think splitting that up might help our traffic flow a bit. And then to get as an on-ramp, I wonder, let's see. We can certainly have one kind of coming around this way. Get that going in the right direction. And then for our second guy, we might actually want to upgrade this. Not that far though, so we'll just create a little pretend node, and then we should be able to upgrade. Maybe you need to keep it, I guess. So right about there probably, and then we can pull, and then we can upgrade up until that. And now we can get rid of this guy. There we go, perfect. And take our single guy, and actually I guess we can kind of do the same thing here. So let's raise this up to, I think 23 is where we had that. And then come across. And really, it should kind of be where this building is. You know, something kind of like that. So I think actually we are going to do that. So let's go ahead and move this big boy over here. And then we should be, actually, let's back this up just a little bit now that we're aiming a little more to the right. So more like that, I think, will be good. And we got way more clearance with the cars, so we should be able to get a little lower, come all the way down to 0. Like that? Is that super weird? It's a little weird. Let's see what happens when we spin it around. Just in the middle of a block like that is a little weird. Oh, we don't have bridges on, so let's... There we go. Oh, all of this stuff did not get... Oh, that did not want to be a bridge where we want that to be the 2-lane. That's feeling a little forced, I think, right? Overall, I think this is great, but that one part is just not quite. Everything else feels fairly natural and thought out. That just feels a little jammed in there. We've got plenty of clearance. Let's see if we bring this down, if that'll feel. And if we get people, maybe that's okay. We'll leave it for the moment, I think. We can bring this down quite a bit. Okay. So that, I think that'll work. And I'm wondering if we want to build up the dirt underneath or the earth. I think we probably do. So we'll just go ahead. Actually, I think it's even easier to switch these to non bridges, in that way it gives you the height level that you want. Let's turn that brush strength down, because my god. And then smooth that. Oop. Smooth that out a bit. Okay. I'm not clicking any of the right buttons today. Smooth. There it is. That's actually still a little... That side's looking better. Let's bring that out just a little more. And there we go. Okay. I think that works pretty well. Definitely as far as, like, you know, a nice iconic city bridge, I think that is definitely working. It's a little low for the size of this, for this big truss, but I think that's fine. Okay, so let's just connect it, and it can be janky, and we can care about it later. That can be a problem for another time. Okay, so at the very least, we should be getting, make sure this is, our outside connection looks like it should be fine. So at least we'll get some traffic coming in that way, and we'll have some activity on that. So, okay, great. And then the last thing I wanted to do was build this out a little bit with some more residential. We do need some more folks living here. So let's see. So we have, what was this? This was our mall. I like that for this area. So let's just build out a little more of this road network. Okay, so we got a bit of a bare bones of a plan here. Oh look, we have our first traffic jam. There it is. And a fire. The hospital was on fire. Oh, good. I'm glad we put that out. So I'm just going to go through here and let's get some single family housing going down along the river here. I wanted to keep that fairly simple. I thought about, we'll do some apartment stuff along the river and other places, but I think here we just want to go with, I wonder if we can, here we go. We'll try it again. I think we can just go with some of this single family housing stuff. And just get kind of a simple neighborhood in here. And just try to get as many little building, little homes in here as we can. Let's see, we can get stuff going in here. I want this to be fairly dense from a single family home standpoint. I don't want it to, this isn't necessarily the nicest neighborhood, kind of stuck in between the river and the highway, so I think it's not a bad spot, but it's not going to be a bunch of big kind of luxurious riverside houses here. This is not working too badly. Now, see, here's the problem. There we go. Like, I want to then turn around and do it on the other side here. And I think we'll have to do the old put a pathway trick. And that should get us, still not. There we go. Should be able to get some stuff in there, and then we can get rid of these. We'll probably need it, yeah, all through here too. So we'll just get this path going. Whoever, I mean, it's not that crazy of a thing, but whoever figured that out and was able to relay that to the rest of us so that we could actually get a little more. I know there was that zoning mod I was using. I think you have to think a little farther ahead than I did for this, in this particular case, for that. So that is a good solution for, for some stuff, but I did kind of forget to mix the zoning up a few places, so let's just swap a few of those out so that we have a little bit of, oh, that was the Chinese houses. That is definitely not what I wanted. I meant to do, what did I mean to do? Southwest, or no, oh, that's right, there are no northeast single density or single family housing, so I was good. So we'll just stick with what we had. And then we can just go through and get rid of those. There we go. And then we can get rid of our pathing. And that's working. It's, it's doing its thing. Some of that stuff going, and yeah, we'll have to do a little more path hack here, and then I don't think I want any homes along this stretch because this is kind of a main thoroughfare. I want to keep these these guys' front doors off of this main road. So let's try to get path kind of like that. Yeah, that'll work. And all the way along here. There we go. And we can get some more. I don't mind if it's on that little side road, but I don't want it to be on this main road. And then we can get rid of our paths. All right, that's working. I think that'll, once this gets filled in with trees like that other neighborhood and some textures and some fencing and all that, I think it'll feel a whole lot better. But we can sneak a few real close to the highway. These can be the even cheaper ones. I think we can get some commercial right here. So folks can get, you know, whatever basic kind of store stuff they might be getting. And then I ran this road up here, but I'm not totally, I guess we can wrap it around. That'll be more of a commercial zone, I think. And then over here, I want to kind of do what we were doing back in that new area with some of these larger apartment buildings. So I want to have these be kind of newer developments. So stuff like, where are they? Yeah, one's more like this. Really, yeah, and stuff like that. Really kind of repetitive apartment housing up here. So we're just going to go with kind of a bunch of these. And we'll move that other building. Just kind of let this be one of those kind of single developer areas. Some company came in and just built kind of everything. And then this kind of big box store, think of this as your Home Depot, your Lowe's, whatever it may be. Let's see if we have anything else that we can drop in here to kind of add to that flavor. That's just too big. That might be the only real good one. Maybe mixed, perhaps. No, these are all also either big or very specifically European. The office stuff, that's not bad for kind of a highway side office situation. I know we don't have any office demand, but it might not be bad to have that for when we do. And then let's throw this guy in there just cause. Okay, I'm gonna go through and fill the rest of this stuff in, and then get some detailing in, and then we'll see how that goes. All right, well, that's a solid start on this area. I wanted this to be kind of a mix of kind of lower income homes and just kind of stuff, highway stuff, as well as kind of the fancy, not fancy, but cookie cutter apartments you see just in those kind of, you know, highway towns. Outside of, you know, this is, if you think about historically, this is, you know, the mining area, like this is where that all started, and we've developed this kind of historic, you know, out downtown with more character and some history and some culture. And then over here, jobs that have expanded from our industrial area have turned into, you know, malls and commercial car dealerships. You've got your roadside kind of hotel, motel kind of district that you see in a lot of these locations. We should probably get some gas stations in, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Those would probably be in commercial. Let's see if we get some of these. Yeah, I mean, this is the place you pull over, you know, to get gas and grab a motel outside of town. Get a couple of gas stations in here. I think you'd see, you know, quite a few of these in an area like this. Get these lined up a little better here. This one was really, oh, I got that backwards, I think. Yep. And then we can tuck this little roadside Motel 6 kind of deal next to it. And this guy probably needs a little, see how we want to get that in there so we can get our price sign right on the corner. And then there's just some kind of old warehousey type industry over here. In fact, let's even throw in some warehouses just to. Do we have warehouses are all kind of big, huh? Oh, we turn the building level down. There we go. Still, those ones with the corrugated roofs are always pretty big, I think. Yeah, you know, there's an auto parts store out here. There's a place to get tires, you know, that kind of thing. So, and we've got all kinds. Holy. Well, that always happens when you have that kind of building surge where we just added, I don't even know how many homes. So I think we're going to save most of the detailing for next time, but I'm going to go through and drop in some trees and just kind of do this river area, and maybe a little bit of this area over here, and then we'll call it a day. Thank you again so much for watching. Thank you for all of the comments and the likes and the views, and yeah, appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.
Not a little.